Suppose you want to use Riz to automate an installation of Windows XP Professional for 100 clients. You have already installed Riz on a server that is to be the Riz server. All the necessary Windows XP Professional installation files have been copied to the reminst directory of this server. The next stage is for you to use riprep.exe to prepare a pre-installed Windows XP Professional computer for disk imaging, and then you need to replicate this image to a Riz server. You start by correctly installing, configuring, and testing Windows XP Professional on a base computer. You also install any applications that may be required by the users. This will be the model image used for the deployment. Using the user account that you have used to create this base computer, you copy its user profile to the default user profile, and you grant the modify permission to it for authenticated users. From the base computer, you need to connect to the Riz server to run riprep.exe. To do this, you first double-click My Computer on the desktop. In the My Computer address text box, you type the location on the Riz server where riprep.exe can be found, and you press Enter. In the NYFS01 reminst admin i386 directory, you can start the remote installation preparation wizard. To do this, double-click riprep.exe. The remote installation preparation wizard opens on the Welcome page. And you click Next to continue. In the server name page, you are prompted to specify the name of the Riz server on which the image will be copied. You accept the default entry and click Next. In the folder name page, you need to provide the name of the folder that the image will be copied to. In this case, you type Windows_XP_Professional in the folder name text field and click Next. In the friendly description and help text page, you can provide a description of the image and text to help users with its use, if you wish. In the friendly description text box, you type Image for Windows XP Professional, and you click Next. In the Review Settings page, you verify the settings and click Next. At this point, riprep.exe removes the unique attributes of the computer, such as the security IDs and the computer name. It then copies the image to the Riz server. The computer then reboots into the Windows Mini Setup Wizard so that you can perform a partial reinstallation of Windows XP. Suppose you want to use Riz on a company network to take advantage of its efficiency and ease of use. What prerequisites must be in place on the network before Riz can be installed and configured? You can automate the installation of Windows XP using third-party disk imaging utilities, such as Symantec Ghost or Drive Image, to deploy the workstation images to other computers. Windows XP is based on Windows NT technology, and when installed on a computer, it requires a unique machine security identifier, SID, to distinguish it from other operating systems. No two Windows XP machines in a network should have the same NetBIOS name, host name, or IP address. And due to these requirements, the disk image copies created by the third-party applications need to be modified to retain their unique attributes. Microsoft provides the system preparation tool sysprep.exe to prepare a master image of a Windows XP computer. The sysprep.exe utility needs to be used in conjunction with the third-party disk imaging applications. The disk imaging application makes an exact copy of the contents of the computer's hard disk and places it on another disk, and the sysprep.exe utility removes all the unique attributes before the disk image is taken. Suppose that you want to use sysprep.exe to prepare the master image of a model computer running Windows XP Professional. To begin, you need to create a new folder in the C drive, So you select File, New, Folder in the Local Disk C window in My Computer. You type the name of the new folder, SysPrep. You then access the Support Tools directory on the Windows XP Professional CD and double-click the deploy.cab file. In the deploy.cab file, you copy sysprep.exe and its helper file called setupcl.exe. You paste the files into the C sysprep directory and you double-click sysprep.exe to run it. In the Windows System Preparation Tool dialog box, you are informed that SysPrep may modify security parameters of your system, and that after you run the application, the computer will automatically shut down. You click OK to continue. The System Preparation Tool dialog box opens, and you need to run Mini Setup, a stripped-down version of the full Windows XP Setup program, which runs when users start a computer to which you have deployed the disk images. To do this, select the Mini Setup checkbox and click the Reseal button. Once you have clicked the Reseal button, the event viewer logs are cleared and the computer is prepared for delivery to the customer. Windows Mini Setup is set to start the next time that the computer restarts. You then need to reboot the computer with a boot disk, and then you can run the third-party disk imaging application to create an image of the computer's hard disk. You have the option of storing the disk image on an internal or external hard disk, a writable CD or DVD, or on a network drive. You can transfer the disk image to the computer that you want Windows XP to be installed on. And when you restart this computer, the Mini Setup wizard launches, prompting you to input the unique configuration parameters that sysprep.exe removed. For every computer on which you want to apply the disk image, the Mini Setup wizard requires a fair amount of configuration to be supplied. To make this process easier, you can use the Windows Setup Manager to create an answer file, which you'll have to rename sysprep.inf. You can then copy this file to a floppy disk or to the C sysprep folder. These are the two locations that the Mini Setup wizard searches for the answer file after you've applied the image. Suppose you want to perform an unattended installation of Windows XP using the sysprep.exe utility and a third-party disk imaging application. You have already used the Windows Setup Manager to create an answer file. To ensure an unattended installation, what must you rename this answer file to? You can reduce the time and inconvenience of installing Windows XP in a large organization by configuring unattended installations. To do this, you can use answer files, UDFs, ghost images, and RIS. You can create answer files using a text editor, or by using the Setup Management Wizard provided on a Windows XP CD. The Setup Management Wizard allows you to control the configuration settings that client computers use during installation of Windows XP. You can perform unattended installations of Windows XP using RIS, which deploys Windows XP to computers that require it. There are several prerequisites that must be in place before you can use RIS, including correctly configured DHCP and DNS server, Active Directory, and separate partitions for the RIS images. RIS also requires a special network adapter that supports pre-boot execution. You can perform unattended installations of Windows XP using third-party disk imaging tools. The disk images created by these tools need to be modified by the sysprep.exe utility to retain their unique identities.